Hey YouTube, this is another episode of Keeping It Honest on DashFight, and today we have a fan favorite, one of the most prolific and most recognizable players of Eastern Europe in MK Azerbaijan. How are you doing today?
Hey, thank you for having me. Thank you. How about you?
We're quite good considering the situation ongoing, but
Yeah.
I guess everything is as good as it can be. So for today, we I wanted actually to talk about some regional topics, topics that concern not only Azerbaijan as a country, but the neighboring countries too, Georgia, and Armenia. We share the same fate in fighting games because many of the issues are exactly the same.
Exactly right.
So but let me just start by asking, how have you been holding up since the NRS decided to stop the support for MK11? Like, were you still practicing MK, or did you switch your focus on something else?
Well, to be fair, I was never actually dependent on, NRS support of the game. Like, you're talking about a pro competition, right? And we all know that I was never able to play in pro competition online. So I was holding up really, like, not so bad, I would say, but because there were a lot of community tournaments back then, and yet there is still some community tournaments, and that is why I've been practicing a lot Mortal Kombat since the day one. I actually never stopped. It was like like it's like a lifestyle to me right now. The one thing that you have to do is just to play the game, and that's what I'm doing every day, almost every day.
Understandable, understandable. Yeah, well, the biggest problem of the region was the lack of access to PlayStation powered pro competition. Do
Yes.
you think there is an easy solution to this for the next NRS game? Maybe a platform change or a different kind of admission? What are your thoughts about the solutions that can be brought to this problem?
Yes, this was actually like one of the biggest challenges for us, like every like CIS region, and not only CIS region, other regions as well that don't have the proper community or proper scene, as it's said. But I think, like in my opinion, platform change would not be a solution for that, because it is not only related to the PlayStation itself, but also related to the NRS regulations as well. For example, in pro competition, um, they actually didn't put the name of Azerbaijan, for example, and not only Azerbaijan, like Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan. They not a single one of them were there, and it is actually funny because there are a lot of good players, like a lot of really good players and very skilled players in that region, but somehow they just can't play in their own environment. And the solution for that, in my opinion, would be the 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 change in the regulations, the change in the rules would be the I think the first step to actually give opportunity for players of this side of the globe. And and the thing about the region, it's not only about the online competition. The same thing goes for offline competition as well, because like in 2019 in pro competition, like most of the major tournaments were in United States. Like there were only two majors in the eastern side of the globe, and to be specific, it was in Europe. The first one was Celtic Throwdown. Sorry about that. And the second one was Viennality. And there are actually like thousands of players in the Middle Eastern side, on the eastern side of the globe as well. Like not only in Azerbaijan, there are players from Saudi Arabia, from United Arab Emirates, I don't know, from Lebanon, from like Georgia, from CIS region as well, and none of them can play. And the cost for the travel itself, like the cost for the travels, it actually doesn't compensate with the price pool that they're gonna get. So that is why I think yes, yeah, that is
That's a
why
major problem of FGC as a whole because there have been many tales of people going to major events
Yes,
and
exactly.
didn't even cover their hotel tickets. So yeah.
Exactly. It's not only about the money itself. Like many players, they don't actually play this game for money. Not only for money, but they also want to, put some name on themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like they wanna just build their own brand, and that's
A
how they wanna
legacy
make it.
in
Yes,
the game. Yeah.
yes, exactly. They wanna have their own legacy, and but that doesn't mean that they have to travel all across the world to, you know, get this attention. We need to have our own majors. We need to have the licensed tournaments in the eastern side, and I think that will not only will the increase the amount of competition, but it also increase the revenue for the game itself. I think because there will be much more players to play the game competitively.
Yeah, that sounds about right because yeah, I mean you just can't ignore most of the regions, and
Exactly.
like you want your esport, your fighting game to be global, but then you shoehorn it into something like a PSN that not many people across the world actually have access to. Like not many
Exactly.
regions are officially supported, and we in
Exactly.
Georgia here also suffer from this. Many people who own PlayStation, they have either Russian PSN accounts or American PSN
Yes,
accounts,
this
and
is actually one
yeah.
of the reasons. Like whenever you register from Azerbaijan to the PlayStation Network, you have to pick another country because Azerbaijan doesn't exist in its system, and it is related to the license again. Like PlayStation doesn't have a license for Azerbaijan nor to Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, to Georgia as well. Like none of them have the license, and that is why this is one of the reasons why they can't actually play like competitively in online tournaments.
Ah, that's actually very
Yeah,
sad.
that is
What
really
I
unfortunate.
also wondered is what is the actual state of esports in Azerbaijan? Not just fighting games, but like everything. Is there maybe Dota 2 teams or CS:GO, League of Legends? Maybe you have heard, like you probably have heard more than anyone else because you're also in fighting games are
Yeah,
esports. So yeah,
yeah.
what is the state? Do you have a federation that maybe helps someone or something like that?
Yes, absolutely. Like esports in Azerbaijan is getting better and better day by day. Like we have a lot of teams actually in Azerbaijan, like esports teams. They actually cover the games like Counter Strike, Dota 2, I don't know, Rocket League, and the all-in-all scene I think is getting bigger. Even though I'm not, being the part of it most of the time. But there is an organization called GLA. It is Gaming League Azerbaijan that was established around 2 or 3 years ago, and it is actually making a lot of changes in Azerbaijani esports. They actually built a really, really big esports arena. It is said to be, but I'm not sure if it's true, but it is said to be that it is the biggest esports arena in the Caucasus region. So
Well,
yes,
that
exactly, and it
sounds
is,
good.
yeah, it is actually really big, and it is actually really, really good equipped. And right now, have you heard about the International Esports Federation?
Of course, of
Yes,
course.
so Azerbaijan, we also have our own federation, Azerbaijan Cyber Sports Federation, and they are the part of the IASF. And in around 2 weeks, there will be a tournament. It is the, I think, International Esports Federation's World Championship. That is going to be in Bali, but there will be a qualification that is going to be held in Azerbaijan. So that's actually a really big step forward for Azerbaijani esports, and they will feature two games, I think, Tekken 7 and Rocket League. And we might actually see a lot of good names from all around the world that are going to play in Azerbaijan, which is really good, I think.
Yeah, the ISF is actually the probably only ticket. I mean, we have some players that play Tekken online tour that played because
Yes, yes,
somehow they had access. But ISF is the main ticket for our esports players to
exactly.
like feature on the
Yes,
main stage in the world.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But again, like IESF, it's not giving the full opportunity for the players. For example, me, like I am like probably one of the best esports player in Azerbaijan, right? Like
You are
right,
most
yeah, right.
more
But I can't.
evidently.
Yes, but I can't play in IESF right now because they don't feature Mortal Kombat 11. If you know what I'm saying. So that's the thing. So I don't know. I don't feel like International Esports Federation is like the you know is like helping other nations to they're not giving the opportunity that we need in my opinion. But still, it is actually something. So we shouldn't decline it as well. So who knows?
What question? Another question that I had is, you are obviously playing MK online still, like just ranked and stuff like that. But
Yes.
what is the Azerbaijani MK scene look like? What does it look like? Do you just mainly usually train between yourselves, like playing screams with each other and playing like practice matches, or do you actually like strive to play online versus European good players? What is the ping actually like? Does the ping allow you to properly play against European players? I know that MK has a good net code, but is it still
Yeah.
okay, or do you struggle?
Yeah, I think it is more than okay for us. Like any Azerbaijani player can like freely play with European players. The ping will be around 100 to 150 at max, so it is more than playable. And when it comes to practice, we're actually doing the both. So like my name MK Azerbaijan actually coming from that. Like back in the day when there was Mortal Kombat X, I wasn't actually planning to be a competitive player. I just loved to play Mortal Kombat. And I just put my name like MK Azerbaijan to actually find other people whenever I played Mortal Kombat online. So if there is someone who is playing from Azerbaijan, they could actually recognize me by my name and just write to me. And in that way, we actually build up a big community like for Mortal Kombat, obviously. Like we have around 40 players in Azerbaijani community, and we are always practicing together. And that's how the how to say the etymology of my name comes from. This is the root of my name. Like that is why I
Did
stuck with.
did
Yeah,
it succeed?
yes, of course it succeed. Like we
Very
have a
good,
lot
very
of
good.
players in Azerbaijan, and one of them being Damastir. Have you heard about Damastir?
Of course,
Damastir,
but mainly
yes,
from you because you
yeah,
always
yeah,
praise him.
exactly. Damastir, like he's like my student, and like but obviously most of the things he learned by himself, but as a community we also helped him a lot to improve his game style. And this guy is actually insane. He's like, I'm not saying just because he's my student, but oh my god, the way he plays like is insane. He's using like Jackie Briggs, and Jackie Briggs by no means is one of the most hated characters in the game because of its overpowered features. But still, like he plays the game in a way that I haven't seen any other Jackie Briggs players before. And he actually played against like some of the best players like Ninja Killa. He actually lost the set, but it was very close. It was 10-9. Like me myself, when I play against a guy like Ninja Killa, I can't actually even take 4 games out of him in a first to 10 match. Now that's why I'm saying, but this guy, he just doesn't have the opportunity right now. That's why I'm getting a little bit salty when I'm talking about it. Like he has such a potential. He has such a unique talent, but yet he just can't play anywhere. The only thing for him was to play in ESL tournaments, and Azerbaijan was banned from that tournament series. So
That's
yeah,
actually going into my next question that I wanted to ask.
yes,
Um, Maybe you can go into more specifics. Like you're pretty much the only and like not only but the most widely known player from Azerbaijan. and you always make sure to comment on others from your country, like
Yeah.
Damastir or Pabratsky or players like that.
Yes,
And
exactly.
what is the like? I guess that it stems from the same issues of region not being represented in pro competition, and
Yes.
yeah. But what helped you still gain your name, and what bars them from achieving the same success that you did?
Well, the thing that motivated me the most was, I think, the passion. I just really love to play Mortal Kombat, and back in the day, I was just looking at those guys like, I don't know, Sonic Fox, Hayate, Scar, and I looked at them with the stars in my eyes. I was just thinking I could never be this good. Like I could never be as good as these guys. But then after 2 years, I would have never imagined that I'm gonna play right next to them and actually beat some of them. And that is actually,
You took a game from Sonic Fox at Woofle,
yeah,
so
exactly. Like that like Sonic Fox themselves, they actually, praise my Sonya, saying that, you have the best Sonya I've ever seen in my life. Like these kind of things, they just, motivate you more to play and more to prove everyone, and not only everyone, but to your own self too, that I can do even more. And I feel like when someone like me, who doesn't have as much opportunity as others, can, you know be successful in this scene, so I think others also can be. And I think maybe perhaps this can actually motivate those players who shares the same fate with me. But who knows? Like, if you really want to play, if you really want to be at the top, you have to risk not only your, motivation, not only your dedication, but also your money, financial issues as well, because you have to travel. And from the first time, no one's going to sponsor you, no one's going to, support you. It has to be only you and yourself, and you have to prove yourself, and you have to prove everyone that you can actually play Mortal Kombat as good as those, famous players.
that's actually something that if the region gets the support, getting sponsorships could become much easier. But yeah, we have what
Yes,
we have.
yes,
Another question I had for you is Warner Brothers Games recently announced that their new title is Multiverses will have 100,000 prize pool at Evo.
yes.
And some people from MK community took it as a somewhat of a slap in the face. What is your opinion, though? Maybe this indicates that the next NRS game will also have a similar level of support when it's released, or is it like really not a very good look to sponsor this tournament this heavily, but MK not having as big of a support? What's your take?
Well, it can actually be understandable for pro players to be salty, because the Warner Brothers, obviously they own a Mortal Kombat as well, but they're just not supporting it. But it is also can be understandable for Warner Brothers as well, because the game is old as like Mortal Kombat 11 is old. It's 3 years old game, and they just don't want to put money on it because they already gained a lot of profit from it. So instead, what they do, as any other normal company, they would just promote their new games. And I think there shouldn't be, like, we shouldn't worry about it, because I'm pretty sure that for the next NRS game, there will be a same support. There will be same amount of financial support from the Warner Brothers, and maybe even more. So in that case, I don't know. It is really complicated. Like, in one side, you're actually being salty because your favorite game is not being supported, and the other side, like, if you think rationally, you can see that it is not only the fault of Warner Brothers. Like, they just want to earn some money. They want to get more revenue, and that's why they're promoting their new games. So there is nothing wrong about it.
Yeah, that's understandable. I guess main thing about this is that if Warner Brothers shows that, like, maybe if they announce the next NRS game and they show that, yes, we're promoting it, we're giving out prize pools, so maybe it can calm some people down, because from now, from what it seems, like, people are not very confident. But Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But Mortal Kombat, it's not like Counter Strike or Dota or I don't know League of Legends. The company itself, it doesn't specifically concentrated on esports. They're just having
It has
yeah,
many different
yeah,
projects. So
exactly.
yeah.
Like for example, Mortal Kombat, it's not having a revenue from the pro scene. Obviously, like most of the revenue from Mortal Kombat comes from the fan base, from the casual players. You know, and that is what company does. Obviously, they support esports, but they are not, as I said before, concentrating on esports more than other things.
Yeah, well, I also actually wondered recently you've been dabbling in content creation. You even have some quite popular esports themed series on our channel.
Yes,
And
and
is this
DashFight.
something you want to pursue in the future more, or is it something like a one off and when the opportunity arises kind of thing?
Well, I actually like to stream. Uh, I'm not doing that a lot, but when it comes to YouTube content creation, I don't know. It felt like pale to me. Like the process itself was really boring to me. So I don't know if I'm just gonna continue doing that. But still, who knows? Like maybe in future I will just become a content creator myself, but right now I'm not thinking about it. The only thing that I can do is to stream on Twitch. I actually made a uh, stream on Twitch like 2 days ago, and after that I haven't touched the Twitch since then. So I don't know. Like we'll see. We'll see.
I just hope to get more things from you because your content is really good and I
Yeah,
really
thank you
loved
so much.
all the
Thank
videos
you
you
so
did
much. I
with
appreciate
us.
it.
So
Thank you so much. I
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. So I was actually wondering what are your plans for the future? Some people in the NRS community are getting restless because of the lack of news about the upcoming game, and some are already jumping to like unreleased even projects like Project L. What are your plans? What are you going to do in the future?
Well, right now I'm working on a startup in Azerbaijan. So my main concentration is on that. But fighting games, it was never like a real career to me. I never considered it as a real career. I just, it's all about
Mainly
passion. Yes.
because of the region struggles, or like if the region was as strong as any, would you try to pursue this as
Well,
career or?
I actually would like it would, make it a lot easier for me to earn money from Mortal Kombat. But right now, the consequences, like not the consequences, but the opportunities that other players have that I don't have, it really makes you, it makes you sad. It makes you sad because you're also putting a lot of effort, but you're not gaining anything, and that actually dismotivates you. But still, the passion for the game remains. So I don't know. Maybe in future I will play more and I will, travel again and just, compete in those tournaments. But right now, I'm not thinking about competing, at least in Mortal Kombat. But I'm actually waiting for the Riot's Games new project called Project L, and yeah, we'll see if there will be a lot more money for me to compete, and if they will actually give opportunity for those people from the eastern region who don't have the same opportunity, then why not? I can actually try. Yes.
Actually, that was what I was going to ask in my final big question. Is there
Yes.
has also been there's been a great debate about Riot's upcoming game, uh, and them potentially bringing more money into the FGC.
Yes.
Excitement seems to be split between like half 50-50 between people genuinely interested in a game for its mechanics and like how it looks and like who are behind this game. The Canyon brothers are like
Mhm.
staple for FGC, and the second part of people who are in it for the possibly big money that Riot might bring. Do you think
Yes.
this is healthy for like for a game that hasn't even come out yet?
Well, I personally think that Project L is going to have like I think like the biggest audience for FGC. And when the game gets bigger, when the community gets bigger, it's like you can't help it. It's just gonna get even toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like every game you play, like the big
Yeah.
games, like Dota 2, Counter Strike, like you can see that there are a lot of toxic people there, right? I think it's going to be the same thing for Project L, but who cares? You know, if you're actually approaching it professionally, if you really want to become one of the best, if you're really putting a lot of work towards this game, then you will not be worried about those toxicity. You're just going to want to make enough money to make a living out of it. So I think that shouldn't bother those professional players, or at least to those who just want to play the game competitively.
Another question that I wanted to ask is about actually the skill of players. So, if Project L comes out, it will obviously have eyes of many League of Legends players on it because it's a
Yes,
League of Legends game, and
yes,
many of them will try this game. But also many already established professional players from other games will try to play it. What do you think will be the skill discrepancy? Like, will the fundamentals of other professional players carry them in this game, or do you think someone, a complete newbie to fighting games who switched from League of Legends, can fastly, like, quickly ascend the ranks and become a good player?
yeah. I feel like the word itself, the fundamentals, is a bit overrated because everyone starts from at some point. You know, like there are some players who've been playing the game for I don't know 10 years. To be precise, for example, Mortal Kombat, right? There are players who are playing the game since Mortal Kombat 9, and there's someone who actually played the game, like started to play the game recently, and that guy actually beat the guy who've been playing the game 10 years. You know, so I think like the building up the fundamentals is not the most important thing. I mean, it's important, but you shouldn't have like the history to actually have a really good success in the new game. So that's what I think. So obviously, I think there will be a lot new players that are going to be successful in Project L that we've never seen before, and I'm pretty sure there will be players who've had success in previous games will also have success in Project L. Like someone like Sonic Fox, for example, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a really good success in that game as well if they play.
Yeah, Sonic Fox, like they are proficient in tag, like team assist based games. So
Yes, exactly.
if they try Project L, I think they will absolutely
Yes,
succeed in
absolutely.
it.
I mean, like the if you've played fighting games before, it will surely help you a lot. But it doesn't mean that if you haven't ever played any fighting games, you're not gonna be successful in Project L. That's what I think.
Thank you, I understand. And as a last question, it's not a question, it's like any final words to your fans who want to see more of you in videos, in tournaments, in anywhere? Any, like, say something to the people who support you.
What should I say? Thank you so much, everyone. Everyone who've been supporting me all this time. You know, including my family, my friends, like the people in the community, everyone. I love you all guys so much. And there are actually people who are still like sending me messages on my Twitter. I really appreciate those as well. I know that a lot of people still remember my play at WePlay, and it's really, I really appreciate it. Thank you all so much.
And thank you too, Hamid.
Thank you.
This has been Keeping It Honest with DashFight. I am Elisbar Ramazashvili, editorial lead for DashFight, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.